on the drive, goes inside the floor. Scoops it up. Booker brings the boom.
Yes, sir. We are back. It's Wednesday morning, and we got the NBA Finals back here. Game 3 in Indiana. 1-1, Big T. We're back. I know the people were clamoring for it on Sunday. You know, that we missed out on Sunday. I felt like we gave a lot of good takes. You got a few members, I think, and yourself and Schlong to the winner circle with a bunch of the stuff you posted. I saw your content. It was pretty on point. I saw some people giving you credit, and it was due because just looking at your content, I could see why you ended up with the optimal build.
Yeah, it was one of those nights where obviously we always talk about it, but I didn't look all night. But I knew when I pulled it up after the game, I was there's a pretty good chance I was going to be in first. I just wanted to know how much. And then you hope you don't get on there and there's some like random team that beats you or something. But worked out perfect. A bunch of members. Rubio's got first in both of them now. Both finals games he took first, which is good for Rubio, doing all the showdown content at Run Pure all year long. Playbook right now. We do the slate builder and stuff, but him and Christine do the playbook, won both of them. And yeah, like you said, even some members too, which I love because we do these shows. There was a few like people from Twitter that we've talked to over the years that sent a message like, oh, I signed up with the promotion and won. I love those because they don't have the Run Pure logo, obviously, but a lot of times we're like, we know some people were at least watching and hanging out and in the Discord, and maybe you help them and it feels good. And again, I'm not saying that, oh yeah, we want it for everybody because everybody puts their own teams in. We give info. You still got to decide what to do. And on that slate, like I thought it was pretty clear. SGA, Jalen, Aaron Wiggins, because Wiggins was so cheap, and then either Haliburton or Pascal, but Pascal was the one I had in my like top because I didn't like Haliburton. So if you had those four, it was just a 2v2 combo that anyone could have got to McConnell and who was the other optimal in that game? McConnell and couldn't have been another Pacer.
Caruso?
Had to be Caruso, yeah. Had to be Caruso at 26. But anyone could have got TJ McConnell and Alex Caruso after that. I think my main team was Chet and Isaiah Joe. So I did decent with that one, but obviously that 2v2 wasn't the nuts.
Yeah,
but
I had Isaiah Joe over Wiggins on my main team too, so that was my
I mean, honestly, I wasn't like I had a little bit more Wiggins, but I like both of them. That's why I like my main team though, because I didn't want to have to choose between them because I know how it goes. If one of them makes shots, they just play more, and Wiggins just made his shots. Joe missed. I think Joe shot 2 threes because I had those props for Joe and Wiggins. And Joe had 2 good looks. He just missed, and then Wiggins got hot. Wiggins got really hot.
I was DMing with someone, and in my main build, it was like the 4-2. Like, and the way I put it was like, I think, you know, you're gonna have SGA or Jalen Williams as your captain. You're gonna have the choice between Haliburton or Pascal, or like one starter that you like from the Pacers, and then you want one bench guy from the Pacers. That ended up winning. I had Pascal over Haliburton, but I didn't have TJ. I had Obi. I had Isaiah Joe. So it was just like it was a similar roster construction, just not the right guys. But I felt like I nailed, or at least tried to help and push people in the right direction of at least the script. You know what I mean? We're not going to get, and I told people in a DM, like some people were DMing me, asking me for some like showdown advice. And I told people like, we're not going to hit the exact player takes, but the script is what you're trying to hit. If you hit the script in NBA DFS, you're going to have a chance. And that's what I tried to like put on. That's why when we come on these shows and we say we help some people, at the end of the day, they still click their own lineups. They still put the players in. They choose to play X, or, I mean, they choose to play Big T's core or my core or some JVC's core, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, they definitely choose the winner. We just try and guide, right, Big T? So we help guide some people in the right direction is more what I like to say.
Sometimes it comes down to just getting a little lucky too, where you put those first 4 in and then you kind of see what fits. Like I didn't like TJ McConnell that much. It's a tough matchup. The good thing about TJ McConnell though is you just know what you're getting. The matchup it's like Caruso in a way. I know they're both whiteys, but they just play. Like they just play. Like he might play bad, he might play good, but he's going to do the same thing every single time. He's not going to be scared. He's just going to go. And sometimes
you're going to get the same, like you're going to get 14 to like 18 minutes out of him most nights. Yeah. And he's going to do the exact same thing every night. And he either makes his shots and people make his assisted passes for shots. And, you know, he racks up some assists and a few points and maybe gets a steal, right, Tony? And then and gets there. And some nights he won't. But that's what makes TJ, I think, always a solid play. Is he's at least a fun roster too, honestly. Like rooting on him.
Like you always got a chance. Like and then it got into scrub time a little bit, and he definitely, I don't know if he needed it that much. Like he added on more than he even needed. Because I think the winner was a decent amount ahead of the next for showdown standards. Like it was more than a 3-pointer, I think, difference. So it wasn't like it was super, super close. But
I know Benny Math had a decent day for his price. Obi was bad. I mean, this was one of again, though, this is the thing with the Pacers. Like, this was one of the differences from game 1 to game 2. Like, Obi Toppin in game 1 was awesome for this team. I mean, he made 5 threes, made so many big shots for this team. This game, 1 for 8, Tony. He comes back down to earth a little bit. He still took 5 threes, right? But he only went 1 for 5. And that's the thing with the Pacers. The one thing that I do like about the cheaper Pacers is it's not like a team where an SGA is taking 30 shots a night. You know what I mean? Even their best players, they'll take the same amount of shots almost as like the 4th and 5th guys. You know what I mean? Haliburton had 13 shots. And if you go back and look at like all the stats and all the field goal attempts and stuff like that, you had Nesmith with 12 shots, Siakam with 11, Turner with 12, Nembhard with 8, Obi Toppin with 8, Mathurin with 7, TJ with 7, Tony. I mean, it's literally dispersed very evenly throughout this team. There's not, even though Haliburton is, I think, an alpha, like super clutch, he's not like an alpha in terms of like, give me the ball and I'm just going to attack and shoot the ball 30. That's not what he does. It's not his game.
No. Yeah, he's a distributor and people want him to change. He's not going to change, just like these other guys haven't changed. Everyone that talk all day will be like, Haliburton needs to shoot more. Listen, I haven't turned ESPN on in so long, but like you turn it on, I guarantee that's what they're saying. Haliburton needs to shoot more. Haliburton needs to shoot more. That's not how he plays. Like he's played the same way forever. He's not going to he might shoot a few more times. I'm not saying he's not going to shoot a few more, but he's not going to go out there and just start chucking.
You don't think his coaching staff isn't telling him to shoot more? Like, seriously, you don't think his coaching staff isn't like building him up?
I don't think they are, is the funny part.
No?
Like,
I think they are.
The way they're in the finals because of how he plays. Like,
No, but they're in the finals because they played really good team basketball. And I've said this for the last few series that they played, but like, it's not just about Haliburton. Now, at the end of the game, it's definitely more about Haliburton. Like when it comes down to the last shot, it's definitely Haliburton. But think about it, Tony. How many big shots did Andrew Nembhard hit to get them there? Like how many? Like seriously, like you look, Aaron Nesmith had that couple massive games. You just go through it. Miles Turner had a couple big games earlier in series. Like it's just the total team performance where like OKC, I mean, SGA and J-Dub have been horses for that team, which is normal, I think, for most teams, like in the playoffs. Like you have your 2 horses.
Yeah, and Jalen's had a bunch of SGA just has earned all my life. Jalen's had a lot of bad games too, is the crazy part. SGA is just he's insane.
He's coming off like a couple bad games in a row, but don't forget, like the Minnesota series, he had
bad ones in there too. Like he was bad at half the Nuggets series. He had a
47,
20-point game right here.
50, 20, 53, 39 in a massive blowout.
Yeah.
I
mean, he was solid, but keep going back. I mean, look at his Nuggets.
Okay.
43,
Where's his
36,
Nuggets
38, 28, 36. I mean, he's been good. He's been clearly their second best guy.
Yeah, Memphis, he was really good. But that was Memphis, and I guess we could.
About these rosters, like I feel like the Thunder roster and the Pacers roster is super similar. Like, what if you just flipped SGA and Haliburton? What do you think would happen in this series?
If I just gave OKC,
you just flipped them, and then you gave them a little bit of time to practice.
So who does OKC get? Haliburton and Pascal?
No, just 1 for 1, SGA and Haliburton.
Oh, I honestly, I think that I think that probably OKC's.
You think OKC just still gets it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I mean, their defense is solid for sure.
Because I think, I get what you're saying. SGA is the clear number one, so you think it would flip the series?
I just think the rest of the teams are somewhat similar when I look at the rosters. Like, I think Jalen's better. I think Chat's probably obviously better too, but I don't think they're.
You're right. You're right, though. They are similar in terms of like they're both deep teams who play a bunch of guys off the bench and have good players off the bench. So like, yeah, you're kind of right. One does it a little more offensively. One does it a little more defensively. Is probably the biggest difference.
I just think SGA is like infinitely better than Haliburton right now. Is the biggest difference. Like, I just think he's. I can't be more impressed with him because I've always kind of been a hater of him.
It sounds like you trust him throughout the entire game, whereas Haliburton, you trust him more at the end of the game.
If it's the last trip, Haliburton, because SGA hasn't really been that clutch. He's missed some big shots, actually. But, man, he's just nails. He just gets his shot whenever he wants it to.
Did you hear Doc Rivers talking about him? He was on some podcast. I forget who, maybe Paul Pierce and KG.
I saw a couple clips. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but
he said he knew he was going to be a superstar and all this stuff and everything like that. Like, he could tell and stuff. Which I don't know.
Everyone says they know now, though.
Yeah, I mean, you traded what they trade like 6 first-round pick.
Whatever it was stupid. It was SGA and Jalen both went from it.
He's like, he said on the thing, he's like, I forget who he was talking to, his GM or something. I know we got to do it, or something like that. And I'm just sitting there like, well, you don't have to do it. Like,
if you knew he was going to be this good, you don't have to do it. That's for sure.
I mean, on top of it, you don't have to give like 6 first-round picks on if he's going to be that good. Like,
I mean, he's just, man, he's really good. And it's been good for these showdowns too, because it's like the Jokic effect again, not as dramatic, but as far as the difference between 1 and 2 is the same, where I just don't know how these guys can get close to him outside of an anomaly like tonight. There is, as we get into tonight's, it's the first game in Indy. They're going to have a good crowd. You would think they'd get a pretty good whistle. They're going to, tonight, if there's ever a game that they could get close, it's tonight for sure. Just the way
I agree. I think tonight is the close game. I think tonight is the close game in Indiana that they could possibly, pull out. I mean, I feel like I still feel confident that OKC gets it done and they get it done pretty handily. But I will say the Pacers might have proved me wrong from the standpoint that they're just fucking so damn they just never go away, man.
Never.
They just, it's crazy. They have this thing at the end of the game where I think teams think they're dead. And a lot of teams, like in the NBA, they kind of just go on like cruise control, Tony, when they're up a certain amount. And the Pacers just catch teams sleeping. You know what I mean? They're down 14 or whatever. And then all of a sudden they hit 2 threes. And there, they're cut it under 10, and then they just find a way to, cut it from there and have a chance. And that's all you want. At the end of the day, if you have one chance with Haliburton with the ball to win the game, the Pacers will live with that any day of the week.
Every day of the week, yeah, they would take it all 7 games of the finals. If you said 1 possession, and you can even say we're down 2 with 1 possession, they would take that. And
So who would you take with one possession? Would you take
Oh,
SGA or would you take
I would take
Haliburton?
Haliburton over about anyone. I mean, he's just proven it time and time again that, like,
You take Haliburton over Jokic?
I mean, I wouldn't take him over Jokic.
No. One
I would
possession.
still take Jokic because he can place it.
Damn it! I almost got him, chat. I thought I was gonna get him. By the
The
way,
Jokic questions, you're never getting another answer.
I thought it was close though. I thought Haliburton might
It
have won
is
you over
close.
in the
It's
playoffs.
just that size of Jokic is just.
But dude, the shiftiness of Haliburton, like
I
just
love
running
Haliburton,
around
yeah.
now.
Like when he got it in game 1, I knew I was going to lose. Like I knew it was over. I knew he was going to hit it against us.
Do you notice that Haliburton kind of stole TJ's like circle? He does it a little differently. He doesn't go under the hoop, but he'll like circle from the mid and then come back out for the three like a ton.
Yeah.
He does that at the end of games. Stole it from TJ, but I thought I was gonna get you with that. I thought it was really close.
I mean,
man,
it's close.
He's been so clutch.
I'm still.
By the way, do you think you can ever do a show without saying Jokic's name once?
I didn't bring him up that time. You did.
No. You brought him up before. You said his name
What'd
before.
I say?
Yeah. You were comparing. Literally, chat. Just like 3
What'd
minutes
I say,
ago.
though? I'll remember if I said it. What'd I say?
You were comparing. I don't know if it was SGA to like Jokic in a way. I can't remember exactly what you were comparing.
Fantasy points for Showdown.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes.
See, that's why Denver's always been my favorite Showdown games, though, because you know who the captain is. If you know who the captain is, Showdown's a lot easier.
I think this series is kind of similar in that way, though. I feel like the captain. I don't think there's many options with the captains, most slates at least.
Yeah, I mean, tonight would be just because we'll get into it, but tonight would be the exception where if there's ever a game in this series, it would be tonight where I could maybe take someone, but it's just hard with. I'll start us off going into it too, because the pricing. When I wish I didn't do this, but I wanted to make sure it was up before the show. I already changed the prices from game 1, but some of the price differences were enormous. Like Aaron Wiggins went all the way up to 3,200. Caruso, I don't know where he was, but he went to 6,200. Dort's way up. Kaysen's up. And then Hartenstein went way down, which we both agreed. This is what happens in series and in fantasy. Everybody should be priced at a certain point where you can play them again. And for me, we hate Hartenstein in this series, and I still hate him in this series. But if he's going to be cheaper than Lou Dort and way cheaper than Caruso, he's starting to make his way back into play a little bit for me. And then the Pacers guys didn't move. So you got Benny Math went down, going home. All the role players are going to be better at home. All these guys either went down or stayed about the same. While the Thunder guys, now that they're going on the road, did the opposite. So the build is going to be more dynamic tonight than it was. The first 2 games, even though we didn't win game 1, I thought it was very cut and dry the first 2 games. Tonight, I think we're going to like different people than we liked the first 2 games. At least I
think the only thing with the first game was like we thought the game was going to go small. I don't know if we both thought they were going to start small, like 100%.
I definitely didn't think they would.
And then they put out that lineup, and I was like, "Oh shit!" They started Casey.
I still don't even like it. It is another side point. I don't know why you wouldn't just start, even though I don't want them to play big all game. It was working perfect. Why? I don't get why they switched. I get it. I do get it, but at the same time. Even if they played it for 4 minutes or something, and then
I personally think it's because of Miles Turner, and I think it's the way he like kind of plays. It's like the opposite of Rudy. Who else did they play? It's just like it's like the opposite. Miles Turner does not like to bang down low. He likes to be on the outside. He's more of like in a way like a finesse center. He likes the mid-range shots, the threes. Yeah. I think Indiana's a team it's easier to go small against because what you always talk about, make Pascal be the alpha, make him like have to kill you on the boards and kill you down low and stuff like that. And it's just, I mean, like Pascal Siakam, we know what he is. Like he's solid, but he's not going to be he's not going to give you 30 on a night in, night out basis. Like he's just
He's
not
a
even
way
in the
better
mismatch.
basketball player than fantasy player too, at least
Yeah.
for me. Like I felt like he was really good both games, honestly. I mean, he was pretty good game two.
I
And
thought he
you
was
look at
amazing
him,
in game one,
and
honestly.
he had 39 and 33. It's like,
Yeah.
And that's just the point about the captain. Like you got SGA. I don't think SGA was even like amazing in either game and went for 55 and 61. So I mean, it's just crazy.
I mean, you would think too, like this spot, like it sets up. We talked about this already, but like this series set up for SGA explosion, like series.
They
This is
just don't
just
really have answers for
no.
it.
And like we've said, like their defenders kind of like fit what he wants anyways. So it's like it's just a tough spot all around. But I mean, I don't know. I kind of liked it because I mean, you getting Caruso out there more. I like the Aaron Wiggins has played really well. Casey Wallace has been good for them. I don't know. I kind of like
where people won't adjust either to the showdown. Everyone saw Wiggins. He's got to be the worst play of the entire playoffs now that he's 3,200.
Yeah. How much run did he catch?
Saw him on the winner.
How much run did he catch because he was fucking amazing? Like literally like 12 minutes.
He was hitting step back threes out of his bag. Like, I mean, oh my God. Now he's 3,200. I mean, that's insane.
He took 11 shots, by the way. Like 11. Yeah. So there's no way he's taking 11 shots.
He's going to go right back to this production. 8 minutes, 4 fantasy points, 8. I mean, look at all these. He's that price break he's been 1K the last like 2 weeks.
And you said the best point. These Pacers cheapies didn't move.
I know.
Really. Like, I mean, what did TJ? TJ moved $400. Yeah. He went from 36 to 4K. Obi Toppin went from 4K to 4,400. So, like, I guess a little bit. I think Benny Math went down.
Benny Math went down for sure because I think he was 32 or whatever he was. I should have left it on there, but.
Yeah, no, he was like 3K and he went down to 2,400. So you made the best point. Like, I think people are going to look at it and still like love the Aaron Wiggins and stuff like. And I think it's the Pacers bench. You're going to want you're going to want at least one of those 3 guys. I think on most of your teams.
Probably TJ, 2 for me with the way the price.
Probably 2.
Well, the last couple games we've had Caruso's been in play more. Dort. These guys are way priced up now. And again, that's not me saying we can't still play these guys because they're great plays too. But Caruso at 6,200 that's tough. That's a tough price point. He's getting up there.
I do love though, like the Lou Dort experience is so good. 36 game 1, 9 game 2. Like you get all the ups and downs with someone. I think
like it's
Lou
the
Dort.
Simplest with him of almost anyone. Like if he's cheap, you play him. If he's expensive, you just don't play him much. Like. Just let the price dictate it. Now he's going on the road too. He can't be better on the road than at home. He can't be.
So okay, so we both agree on like the cheapies.
Like that is expensive for Casey.
That's an expensive Casey Wallace price. That's a very expensive. But like you said though, just project them, maybe lower. Yeah. I doubt his projection is going to be like that crazy, anyways. But
no.
Just project him and see what he's hitting at, and if he's hitting too high for you, lower it a little bit more, like play with it a little bit, play with the projection a little bit. If you're getting too much, you probably won't get too much though. I would doubt when you start running.
Not at that price. Because I mean, look at all his games. He's played good, but he's somewhat consistent just in this 15, 14, 16, 22. I mean, what was even his biggest game? 24, the whole playoffs, 24.
Yeah, but remember he was like cheap for a lot of the playoffs, though. You know what I mean? He was like in the 3K range for a lot of the playoffs, correct. And now he's up to 5K. I mean, he is starting. I think we're
going to win again tonight. There's going to be another winning slate because the pricing just dictates where you're going to go again.
So the question for me, because we agree on the cheapie, I still think we see at least one Pacer starter on the winner, maybe 2, but at least 1. Right. So like you're looking at Haliburton, Siakam, Turner, Nembhard, Nesmith. Like, what are you doing with the Pacers starters? Because I think this is going to be where you kind of win it at the end of the day.
Yeah, I break it into 2 tiers, and both of them will be 1 max for me. Where Haliburton and Pascal, I want 1 max. I probably want 1 on all my teams too.
Yeah.
one of the studs on all. Probably. I haven't played with the build yet, but I want one of those. I don't want both of them, though. I don't think they can both get to the winner with the way this team plays. So I want one tops, and then I definitely want one max of these three. And I know Pascal, I would say Pascal, Turner, and Obi are kind of the bigs, and Bryant. So like the bigger type guys where I wouldn't go crazy with them either, but I would break it into a weird rule though. And weird rules are kind of where you can get different in showdown too. Like one max of these two and one max of these three, and then definitely one min of the bench guys. So all of a sudden you could have three Pacers right there, which again, I haven't played with the builds, but if you gave me like SGA and one of these two, and then one of these guys and Chet or Jalen, and then one of these guys, and then maybe a punt like a whoever, Kenrich at 1K. If that lined up, then I would feel pretty good about that general build.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like
the chat not saying anything. I kept feeling like we're offline. Boban Dryer, why does it feel like people burn? Maybe it's golf season. It feels like we got no chatter in the chat for once here.
Chat's dead right now. Chat's dead. Sam was in here. I can't remember if I like Sam or Ryan or
that was 10 minutes ago, though. I don't think we've done shows for 10 years now. I don't think we've ever gone 10 minutes without a comment in chat. I felt like we weren't online or something.
You guys not making Big Teal feel good right now. See, there we go. There's a chatter. Jay. There we go.
I was curious. People must be in golf mode.
Yeah, no, I think people are at work. I'm at work. I think yeah, you put it there. So making my golf
the Perkins perk James Johnson graphic today though.
Maybe people didn't. Maybe people thought this show was like 10 years ago when Perk and James Johnson were like relevant.
Yeah, they're like, oh, what are we watching here?
Yeah, they're so confused right now. It's like Perk James Johnson cover. What the hell?
I lost it to answer that. People have been talking about me shaving it off a little bit today. I had to get cleaned up a little bit for the golf trip. I had to shave the beard was long. I had to shave it off a little bit to be out in that heat.
What website is that for? What? What's this?
Yeah.
This?
What? For what?
I don't even. I don't know what you mean. We have no idea about this series. Yeah, well, this series is honestly.
We have no idea. I think we got a very good idea. It's going to be OKC in 5.
Yeah, Tony's like, yes. I need it for my bet.
Knowing what's going on in the series.
Tony's like, I need it for my bet. No Haliburton late shots. I'll tell you right now, you're going to be clinching real hard if Haliburton's got that ball with the last second chance to win the game. You're going to be holding on for dear life.
I think OKC's sweeping the leg, though. I think they're too much for them.
You just see the runs they go on are just, man, the runs are just tough when they go on those big runs like that. Your Nuggets had to deal with it. How many times they just go on these runs where they just get super
That's why
hot.
they beat the freaking Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets were winning that game with Gordon. See, you do it too. You stir me bringing the Nuggets back into it.
I do.
It's your fault. You stir them. But they were winning in the second quarter, and then in the third quarter, they're down 20. It happened to the Nuggets last year too, though, where they're up 20 in the second half and lose. It's a new NBA.
I mean, it goes both ways. The Nuggets have won games where they were down a billion.
It's just the new NBA, like you said with the Pacers. Like you just gotta bury teams until they take their guys out. Just make them take their guys out first. You leave your dudes in until they take their guys out. That's when the
not only that though, you can't be settling for shots. Like we're up 15. I can just jack this. Like no, like run your offense. Do the same shit you were doing that won you the game.
Just play.
Yeah. I feel like
everyone should have learned their lessons by now. How many games we've seen 10 teams blow games in the playoffs?
It's funny though, because you hear people talk about like the new NBA and the style and just like how fast you can go in and out with leads and stuff like that. So the players know it's just probably got to be hard. You know what I mean? To keep up that intensity when you're up in amount. You know what I mean? It's got to be a little hard. So
Daryl says, do you think SGA too expensive to play in the captain with it? No. In the NBA, again, this is why we love the playoffs. You just play the studs in the captain. In this series, I mean, I want 70 or 80% SGA captain. And then as we look at these, I mean, because on Indy, for example, I'm just not really going to any Haliburton. I'll for sure play some captain tonight at home, just because we've seen him with an 84 right there in that game. I mean, we've seen it before. So I need some, but Pascal, I still don't see a crazy good ceiling. Maybe a little bit of Pascal.
He's got a massive mismatch with these small ball lineups.
He was just abusing Kaysen.
Do we think he could get a 50 ball and be on the winner just with the price gap difference?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have a tiny bit of it, but again, I'm just going to let the projections speak. So, I mean, what kind of number? Let me pull up a few different sites. What are we projecting these guys for?
Because if I throw him in there, I can easily get at least two of the three studs on my in my util, and then you play at least one of those Pacers cheapies, and that gives you just over 4K for your last two spots. That's kind of where I want to be.
I mean, it could happen. I just, man, looking at these projections, you just have an enormous gap. It's the Jokic gap. I know I already said that, but it's just, I mean,
well, I'm not saying he's better than SGA. I'm just saying,
but it's just too big of a difference. Saber's going to do it for you anyway. So, unless you project, because Haliburton, no matter where you look, is going to be projected high 50s.
Because I agree with this.
That could happen. I mean, we don't disagree with it. But to the point, though, Pascal's or SGA is going to be projected high 50s no matter where you look. Jalen Williams and Haliburton will be low 40s. So you're already talking about a 15-point gap. And then Pascal's even lower than that, high 30s. But even say you give him low 40s. You give Pascal low 40s with Jalen and Haliburton. They can't hit with SGA. So when you do it, either you're going to need SGA, which SGA's had lower games. I mean, he's had – not for a minute, but a 26 and a blowout. The problem is he doesn't really have bad ones. So I don't know. I think it's clear cut. It's an advantage to us, though. When you can just play SGA, just get creative in the other spots. Because it's the same as Jokic, where even if you don't have the nuts, you're going to be in very good shape just with SGA in there.
And you're gonna have a chance. Is more you're gonna have outside of an outlier. You're gonna have a chance, and obviously
I don't think it's 100%er though. I'm not saying to lock him unless you're playing 5 teams or something, then lock him. But if you're playing a bunch, you can filter a couple of these in there though. Because I agree with you. If Pascal, we could run it. Let me
Because I think for me tonight, SGA is my one. I think I'm going to have Pascal as my other captain, that I'm going to play just a little of. Not a ton. It's going to be mostly SGA.
I like him more than Hallie, too, for sure, as far as how the series lines up. Let me flip these sheets, because let's play with the Saber Sim for a second. If I can figure out how
to... Put me in the game, Coach. What's up?
Yeah, Coach.
Y'all. Let's go, Coach. I don't know who Terry Niehaus is, but morning to you as well. All right. You got your Saber Sim up?
Yeah, I got to pull it up still, but NBA. Get the golf off there. Get the golf.
Yeah, his odds are just insane. His points, basically even money to score 35. That's pretty wild. That's because
he freaking he shot it, I think, 50 times in 2 games. How much has Haliburton shot it in 2 games?
12 and 13, right?
So half the shots. It's crazy.
Yeah, 13 and 13. And is he going to shoot more than that? Maybe a few more, but
I don't think he changes the way he plays. I really don't. I think they come right back and run it the exact same way.
Okay. The most shots he's taken 23 shots in 2 playoff games, both against the Knicks, and then he took 22 in 1 game against Milwaukee. But I don't know, was that an overtime game? That might have been an overtime game. I can't remember, but either way, he just doesn't shoot like SGA does. SGA is just constantly attacking.
SGA just gets to the spot whenever he wants, and there's nothing you can do about it. there's just nothing. So
I agree with this too, though. Like, yeah, they stole one. The key with the Pacers is just going to be the role players have to be good. Obi Toppin's going to need to give them another big game, or TJ or Benny Matherin's going to have to explode. And maybe he does. Like maybe he does explode and score 20 off the bench or something like that. And Obi hits, 3-4 threes tonight. Like that could easily happen.
What's your filter, Big T? What do you mean? What's my filter with? My filter is just to get rid of all the zeros, so I don't have to look at the.
Oh yeah, he can't do the zeros.
With the Sims, Wiggins is the optimal. After I said he's the worst play on the board, somehow he's the optimal. This is why I don't like.
What's his projection? What's his projection
12?
at right now?
That's
12?
in the captain too. So like, what is his projection?
Wow.
His projection is. Where is
what
it?
do you have? SGA's low or something like that?
I didn't change anything. They're all just there. So it's just that's just Sims. So it's my ownership, I guess, because it's 1%. And then it's what it gets you. It gets you like, look, oh, here we go, Saber. Here we go with this scroll freaking thing. Here we go. The spreadsheet's coming back on. I mean, I just can't. Like, if you play this team, just light your money on fire. Like, let's see if you go to projected score though.
Yeah, projected.
Thomas Bryant freaking hits on projected score. That's why you just got to remove.
Is Rubio updating Saber? Is Rubio in charge of the Sims?
You, Rubes?
Oh my God! I know he shipped the last two slates, but I mean, come on, those are just Rubio builds right there.
I'm not freaking playing. I mean,
I
would have assumed if anything, like Benny Math would be the one that would.
That's who I would have thought.
Damn hard. I mean, look, just for entertainment purposes, let's see. OKC. I mean, you're not freaking playing these guys. None of these guys on OKC are in play.
No.
I'll leave those three in for the sake of this. These guys are fine because they're at home, whatever. So let's look at some of the numbers though. So SGA, I mean, I realistically don't know how you don't project him for high 40 minimum. I'll probably go higher than this, but just for the sake of
40s,
huh?
You say high 40s?
If I did, I meant high 50s, whatever.
I was gonna say that's what I was gonna say was why is it high 40s?
I mean, this is the absolute lowest I would go. I will go higher for sure, like personally, but for the sake of this show, we'll leave it there. So like. After that, though, you got. I mean, we'll just leave Jalen too. That's fine. But so where do we want to put Haliburton and Pascal? Like, if you love Pascal, so what number do you think he should have?
Let's see. Where's he at right now? Can you just
say around 37 or something?
I put him at 40.
40. Okay. 40. I mean, I think 40. If I really liked Pascal, which I kind of do, like last game, I wanted Pascal on my main team because of floor. Like I feel good about his floor. Like I don't feel good about his ceiling, but I do.
I think one of the reasons why they started small was specifically because of Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam. One, because of how Miles Turner plays, and two, because they want Pascal to be the man. They want Pascal to beat them and dominate them. And I don't think they think throughout a series he's going to do that. That's why I think they're fine with playing the Carusos and the Case and Wallaces. And that's the thing with their small ball lineup. All their guys are like the same. They're super gritty, tough, like defensively sound. It's wild. They have so many guys that are just similar and that they just all play very similar. It's very interesting team dynamic.
I totally agree. Well, you're insane if you're Xing out. I didn't X out Hardenstein. He's right here. I X'd him out of my captain. I'm not playing Hardenstein captain.
Like those were captains he was Xing out.
And if you were watching the beginning of the show, I said we didn't like him all series, but at that price, I'm definitely going to be interested. He's 5,400. He's freaking the same price as Case and Wallace now. I mean, I'm definitely going to – not in the captain, though. I still don't think he – because no matter what, Chet and Hartenstein are not playing more than 48 plus a couple at the absolute most, like 50 minutes, like at the absolute most. So, like, you're just capped ceiling-wise. So I don't see it. But what are we giving?
And what
Haliburton?
happens when they get 40 instead of 48?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
which is more likely than getting more is definitely. If I had to project it honestly on the road, I might project it at 40. I don't. They're not going to get a ton of
yeah,
minutes.
I think low 40s is where they get, honestly.
Which hurts,
so
honestly, at the prices hurts chat. Which we'll get. So what are we giving Haliburton?
Let's see. He's at 42. I'm gonna put him just under Pascal.
You're going 40. In the 30s at home?
40 on the dot. I'm putting Pascal just ahead of him.
For the sake of this, I'm going to do that, but there's no way I'm doing that on my team. So that's too low for him at home. But,
what do you put? What would you put him at? Just for the sake of the.
When
I
don't have like a strong take on someone, like if he's projected 44 and 42, I mean, just somewhere in it, because he's more expensive too. So, like me personally, I would go like 44.
I kind of just wanted to see what it would give you if you did put him below.
I mean, let's do it.
I just wanted to see what he would come out at.
So I don't really have a strong take with these three: Haliburton, Jalen, Pascal. So I wanted to I like looking at this multiplier on Saber where it's like Haliburton and Jalen are right here, 4.04, 4. And Pascal's still, even with the 44, is still better. So instead of the projection, I like to look at this number. And SGA is still ahead of all three of them with this number. So that's why I like those. But for the sake of this, I do like going lower just to see what it gives us. Because look how low that is now, like 3.59 and all. I just think that's too low. But it doesn't matter.
And what do you do for like min salary when you run these things? Do you put it like to where it doesn't matter? Or
in this series, I do it. It doesn't matter. If it was a series with multiple stars, I definitely go higher.
I love how you put 44.
You like all my numbers. 44s and 69.
No, Big T. Never change, Big T. Never change.
Yeah.
You run it?
Okay, so let's move to the next range. So Chet, I mean, I just don't think it's a Chet series. It's just he's another guy that I'm not going to like take a huge stance on though. So if they're projected like 33, rest of the industry is somewhere around 33, 34. I mean, I'm just not going to really take a stance on him. So I would just go like keep it in there. And it lines 30s. Up with these other guys too.
Yeah, I'm going to be low 30s on Chet, so that works.
Yeah. I might go even lower than that, but I don't want to. And Miles Turner is one guy that I definitely want to go under on, who he's gone for 26 and 30 in 2 games. And honestly, I feel like he's played good both games.
Well, that's good because the guy I want to put ahead of Miles Turner is Nembhard.
Yeah, I agree. So
he's had 2 okay games, and they were both in OKC. Now he gets to go home. I think going home benefits a guy like Nembhard way more than like any of these other guys in his range that are starting.
100%. I agree. So Nembhard ahead of Turner. We got that. We're still going downward. I mean, Neesmith and Caruso and Dort all in this next range. I don't see how Caruso's not the best play still, but honestly, I don't love this range. This range is tough. It's I don't want to live in this range.
I agree with you. I don't want much from this. Well, I don't want to say much, but I don't want to load up on this range. I do think Caruso's probably the best play. I think Lou Dort has the most boom bust of this range where
he is insane at this price point though. He is insane at this price.
But Neesmith, I don't feel like Neesmith's going to give you a big game, but I also don't feel I think he's going to get you low 20s here.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to be a better play than Dort and even Hartenstein for sure, and Kaysen. I mean, we just got to rank the range like we always do. There's 5 guys in here.
Caruso, Neesmith, Dort.
And then Hartenstein and Wall, all 5. How do you rank all 5?
Caruso, Neesmith, probably still Lou Dort, Hartenstein, Kaysen, Wallace.
You still got Dort over Hartenstein, even though he's more expensive now.
Oh, that's true. That's true. We're putting price into it.
This is where like the differences I think get people caught though, because like so Hartenstein, we agree doesn't fit the series, right? We agree
Right.
that he hasn't been great. He still
And we
has
agreed that his minutes can be cut a
I don't
decent
think
amount.
they can be cut like more than they've already been. I mean, he only played 39 minutes in 2 games. They're not going to go less than that.
He played 17 in game 1, 22 in game 2. That's like 5 minutes extra is a big deal.
Yeah.
And they went from playing like 41 minutes to like 50 or 48 or whatever it was. Like that's a big deal, I think, like overall or whatever, 47 minutes to 40 or whatever it was.
I mean, so we agree. We got Caruso. Let's just give Caruso.
So you're going to put Hartenstein projected ahead of Dort? Is that what
I'm
you're
definitely projecting him ahead of Dort. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I think Dort, Dort, Kaysen Wallace, and
I hate Lou Dort, so I'll probably do that too because I don't have a strong take on that anyways, and I never like to play Lou Dort, so
I think it's for sure the 3 worst plays of the slate are not all things considered are Dort, Kaysen Wallace, Wiggins are the 3 worst, and the 3 best are the Pacers guys, Obi, TJ, and Benny Math.
Yeah, I want to live in this.
So we'll go Caruso, we'll go Neesmith, we'll go Hartenstein, we'll go again. These projections don't matter; just rank them. And then Dort and Kaysen. I actually think let's put Dort last for the sake of this because neither one of us.
I like that. DFS Golf Stats says Dort much better 3-point percentage at home versus the road. That checks out. Yeah. Makes sense.
That's good for that range. I think we pretty much agree in that range. So now the next range is where it gets pretty interesting. Well, maybe not that interesting because there's only 2 guys in the. It's a good ranking though because this is where it's important. Obi or TJ, they're the same price. Got to be Obi, right?
I mean, I think Obi's got the most upside because Obi's got a chance to play up the mid-20s minutes. TJ's never really playing mid-20s minutes, like ever. You know what I mean? So the most minutes you're going to get from him, I think in the playoffs so far, the most minutes he's gotten is 21. And that's like the absolute most. He's probably like, it's probably more like 18, 19 minutes is his max and 14's his low. I do like players like TJ Moore at home. I have to put Obi ahead of him though, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. And it's going to be 2 of the best. Like I said, my 3 best plays will be Obi, TJ, and Benny Math. So like, you're going to get a lot, but just for the sake of this, let's keep them going down the list. 19. And then this is where it gets interesting, I think, just because Wiggins off the big game, you're going to get people play him, and his projection's still pretty good. Benny Math, according to these, has better projections. Let me check some other places too. Yeah, I mean,
I agree with that. I would definitely have Benny Math ahead of Wiggins.
Oh, I got the prices on this other one still. That's nice. So Wiggins went from 1,600 to 3,200. Benny Math went from 3K to 2,400, and you get the home court and that's just crazy how they did that. You're basically, I mean, Benny Math has to be the best play of the slate. I mean, he has to be at 2,400. He just has to be.
Yep, I agree, and I think you're gonna want 2 of those guys anyway, like 2 of those 3 Pacers that we talked about.
I agree totally. I don't know how the pricing lines up yet, like where the number, but I totally agree with. And I think this is where you get the price break too. Like instead of having Wiggins and Benny Math projected similar, I'll put Benny Math up closer to TJ and then Wiggins closer to the scrubs. Like at 12, I think 12 is even a little high for me. I wouldn't even probably do that, but I'll leave it just for the sake of this run. And then we get into the total scrubs after that. Like, and this is an important range because we think it'll be somewhat close tonight. At least I do. But if we get another blowout, you still have guys that can come in. I mean, AJ Mitchell's played a decent amount for OKC through when you didn't think he would play at all. Kenrich played probably less than we thought. Thomas Bryant, you just don't know. So how do we rank these? I mean, Ben Shepherd absolutely sucks. That's one thing I know. Like he's
lower him all the way down.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard though. This is where it gets hard though, because you're gonna have to leave some of them, man. You're gonna rank him below all these guys?
Let's see. Well,
Who's the best? Let's just work down.
Thomas
who's the
Bryant's
best
probably Thomas Bryant's probably I'm gonna have this slightly ahead of all those guys.
So let's just put, just for the sake, the numbers don't necessarily matter right now. So we'll give Thomas Bryant the highest.
Isaiah Joe definitely lost some run to Aaron Wiggins, I think, but I also don't love Isaiah Joe type players when they go on the road. And I think like his last 5 games on the road in the playoffs, he shot like 4 for 20 or something like that. So, and it kind of checks out. He seems like a guy that is a little more comfortable at home than on the road, but he also will sometimes get like that blowout run or that extra run. So that's kind of the tricky thing, right, Big T, with someone like Isaiah Joe. So
definitely, they at least did us a little bit of a favor where he's priced so differently than that next range now that now he's in with the total grease balls. So like, I think 2K and below, I'm not, obviously Benny Math is not in this. 2K and below, you just gotta just go in order and just hope you get whoever scores the most. That's what I mean about Ben Shepherd, where he might only, like most games, he's terrible. We agree, but most games he's getting you 6, 8, 7, 5, 8. I mean, every game I think his projection, like somewhere around 6 or. I think I would have to put him ahead of Isaiah Joe at home, even though I don't.
Well, yeah, because the minutes are way more secure for him. Isaiah Joe could play 4 minutes. He could play 12, 15. I don't know.
Isaiah Joe 100% has a higher ceiling by a mile, though.
Yeah.
But so it's just how much do you weigh it? Like how much? Because if it's a close game, it's truly going to be who can get like 6 or 7 down here. If it's a blowout, though, it won't be Ben Shepherd in a blowout. That's why when JSU says it's all about the script, if you think it's a blowout, then don't play Ben Shepherd. If it's close, though, he'll probably outscore all these guys.
Well, and like Kenrich Williams is 1K, and it's like I agree with you. Like Ben Shepherd is a way safer play than Kenrich Williams, but if it somehow like unfolds good for Kenrich and he catches a few extra minutes, like
the funny thing is, I love Kenrich tonight.
I do too. So
on the
like,
road, I actually like him better on the road than home. Is the funniest part. And he's 1K. We get that 1K price point.
Again, also too, I'm going to be so high on those other 3 Pacers. Plus, I think Thomas Bryant is like the absolute safer play in that range. So I'm probably
Thomas Bryant has more upside than people will think too. Like I think he could rattle off some stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've seen him put up like 15, in certain spots. Like he can definitely do it. That's what I'm saying though. So like I have him. I've got Math, I've got TJ, I've got Obi. I think Shepard's just going to be low because I'm going to have like more interest in Kenrich and Isaiah Joe and just hope it just runs good for them. But I'm going to make sure like that value column, Kenrich is going to be after Thomas Bryant.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. I think we're in agreement pretty much all the way down. So this is going to be interesting. We got all our numbers in. I think it's going to definitely give us a cheap captain the way things are lined up, but let's see.
Do you guys think the Indy gets the whistle at home tonight? I mean,
I don't think they play a style really to get a whistle though. They play
a team-oriented style. It's like
you don't get whistles by passing.
Yeah, it's different. Like SGA, when SGA is like on, does he get that's different because he is just a ball dominant. He attacks and just relentless. Same thing with like guys like Jalen Brunson. This team, like we said, their best player, their alpha, he's a distributor at heart, and that's I think it like trickles down, Tony, right? Even Pascal can pass.
Pascal's more of that too. Like he's more team oriented.
Yeah, I think Pascal like completely changed his style too when he got to the Pacers because it was like a different environment. I've heard him talk about it too than like Toronto. I remember like Chuck and Kenny asking him after one of his big games like the difference, and he kind of alluded to just like it can be any guy on this team. and we're all cool with it. Like, I just want to do what's best for the team. And he's like, the coaches know if they need me to shoot 20 times or run plays for me 20 times, I'll do whatever. But they also don't have to run a play for me. Because I remember Chuck asking him, like, dude, you didn't get one play run for you all game or something like that. And you dropped, 20 points and whatever. And he's like, that's fine. Like, as long as we win, I don't care. And that's the difference with the Pacers.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. So the numbers come back, 42% Shea, which I want to be higher. But again, I said I was going to project him higher. Pascal, 17%. I don't hate that. Jalen, 14, and then a bunch of other guys under 10%, which we actually got less of the which is I'm happy about. I was expecting to see more cheap captains with the projections.
I'm glad we didn't get cheap.
That's
captains.
A good sign for the way we think. Because sometimes when it pops up, it worries me. Like, there's just not enough star power in this series for the cheap captain. So, And then utility, obviously Benny Math, Pascal. I honestly like these numbers. We get a little bit more Kaysen than I would like, but he's still solid.
Yeah.
Hartenstein. Yeah, I mean, nothing really. I'm trying to see if anything like crazy.
How much Tyrese did we end up with?
Only 11% because Pascal was higher. I mean,
that checks out. So, like, if you think 11 is just too low, obviously, you're just going to bump it. You're still going to get, like, a ton of Pascal.
Like, I would definitely want Haliburton and Pascal. Like, Pascal's 52, Haliburton's 11. And then you throw in the captain, Pascal's probably, like, 70, and Haliburton's, like, 20. I want them closer to 35 each or something.
Yeah, so you're going to bump Hallie's projection so you can get.
I mean, let's just see what happens. So if we
closer to that 30 range,
go back to the 44 and let's see what it gives us. We were about 70-20 at that. Now let's see if it's closer to what I want when I give him 44.
And this is one thing, like Tony always told me, like when a guy in your head, when you think you're going to get more and you end up not, it just tells you that guy is a really bad play. When you like go and change it like this drastically and you still don't get it. So I'm wondering how much we get.
It'll be interesting. The Nembhard, I think Nembhard might have hit the other before I hit the Sims too. I'm curious.
Oh, Nembhard hit the
man. Out of the optimal without the Sims, just ROI, not have it Shea in there. That's an interesting build. Four Pacers, 2 OKC with no Shea is quite the build. That
is like, what is that? Like a Pacers blowout script?
So we get the same. This is my point though. I'm so glad it did this because we have our same optimal with Haliburton at 44 now. So our same optimal, but I guarantee the overall. So our optimal is still what I love. I love this optimal too, by the way.
Me too.
PJ Benny Math. We got another stud pass. I love that. But I bet these percentages are closer. So now we got still about the same Pascal captain, about the same Haliburton. So the captain's still the same. And utility, man. So Haliburton's up to 35 now.
Which Pascal's is what you wanted.
Still at that number.
Which is what you wanted, right? You wanted Hallie at 35?
I think I got too much. This is the give and take, too, that I do daily, and JSU does when we do these. But, like, I'm sure I have some builds now probably with both of these guys, which I guess is okay at home.
Well, I mean, you didn't set your rule, though. What if you go and set your rule, like, I only want one of? That'll change it drastically.
Like, if we play Pascal, let's just see Pascal and Shea in the same team. You got, 62 lineups of my 349. So you're talking that's probably too many. Yeah. I don't know. I agree with these numbers though. I feel pretty good without really. I mean, we're gonna change some of them obviously, but I feel
honestly
pretty good
think 60% is a pretty good number, Daniels. So
yeah,
for SGA captain, like
I think I'm gonna be higher, but I totally get it. Like I'm good with, especially this first road game where. I mean, he's a decent amount more than these guys too. He's just got
I hope the price tag kind of keeps people from like wanting to to click the top guy. I don't think it'll happen because it's all projection, but
My
you never
issue, like,
know.
so like these
People
builds.
love these cheap captain builds, Tony. They love these cheap
Look
captain
at these
builds.
two teams though. So like if you play Shea captain, Pascal oh God, Saber. Oh, the scroll. The scroll is brutal.
Big T,
Brutal.
get things moving. All right. The chat
Brutal.
agrees with you. We got to get rid of the scroll.
I'm not gonna touch my mouse. I'm not touching the screen, so it'll sit here. So you got so you just flip those two, but then look at the difference you get. You really don't get that much. Like it's the same team basically to me. Like,
Well,
sure, you got to play Chat over Jalen.
There's
but
no SGA, right? There's
no,
Tyrese over.
or he isn't on that build. You're right. I didn't even notice that.
It's
So it's even worse.
Tyrese. Yeah. No, like the SGA build is way better than that.
Yeah, like
build.
I'd never want this build where Pascal Haliburton. Like, look at that build. I never want that build.
Yeah. So much better.
Oh, yeah. I don't, yeah.
But what was the ownership or the percentages still similar?
Yeah.
Or, no, you
I
just
think
locked those two.
I think they're pretty good. Honestly, like Benny Math, I'm good with having just a shit ton at 2,400.
Are you gonna make any rules like you want at least 2 Pacers or like no 5-1 builds? You want 3? No.
The only ones I would make are those ones I talked about with the Pacers, where I really only want one of the 2 studs, and then I really only want one and most of the other 3 starters. But yeah, I still don't know for sure if I'm going to make those rules though, because I like these numbers. If I ever run it and I like the numbers, I don't think you really need to go crazy adding stuff in.
So I agree. Especially if you're playing 150, I don't think you have to make any type of strong rules, because I think Saber's gonna, if you trust your projections or the sims, like Saber's gonna give you some good teams. So you don't, like you've said before, you don't have to like do that stuff. It's gonna give you pretty close to what you want or what it wants. But for someone playing like 3 teams, 5 teams, 10 teams, Tony, I think rules are a good way to get exactly what they want on their few teams that they have. You know what I mean? So then it's legit just your scripts, and if you hit your script, you're going to have a chance. And if you don't, you don't. But I think, for me, if I'm playing only a few teams, like I'm probably going to go at least one of TJ, OB, Benny Math, at least one of that range. And I want at least one of like the Nemhard, Pascal, Haliburton range. Not talking captain, just in the util. So I want at least one from each of those ranges. And then obviously you're going to want at least, one of SGA or Jalen Williams. I'm probably just going to make sure I have SGA on all my teams, but that's like the starting point for me tonight. And then I'll let my projections or the sims do its work from there.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with the minimum teams and stuff, and
this is the hardest range. This is why, like the rules, like this is the hardest range, and you're gonna kick yourself. We don't like Dort, but when Dort outscores this range and he's on the winner,
could, yeah.
It's just annoying. So you could do like the max too. That's fine because that's not limiting. I don't think your builds too much. But just be careful with the ranges that at least in my mind, are like the most challenging range. And I think that has to be.
This is why Showdown NBA is the best though, because if you play SGA captain, which I think you should, and you pop in Haliburton or Pascal, which I think you should, you pop in Jalen or Chet, which I think you should.
Yep.
It is going to get you off the challenging range to begin with for the most part, because you're down. Like if I play, just say I play the expensive pieces, SGA, Haliburton, Jalen, I'm down to 3K for my last 3 spots. So I can only really play one of those mid-range guys anyways. And it makes your decisions easier. That's another reason I think it's SGA captain more so. That it gets you off tough decisions. What don't we want in DFS? We don't want tough decisions. We want easy decisions. And I mean, it's just, even if you throw in those 3 and you throw in Benny Math because he's so cheap, you're at 3,350 for your last 2 spots. So you literally can't fit any of those mid-range guys that are tough plays. So it just forces you. I mean, that's the best build by a mile to me. I don't see how. I might just lock SGA captain the more I look at it. The builds are just so much better.
I will say, Alex, I don't know the specifics of that site, hashtag DK partner, but if I did know any specifics over there, it is so easy to just play SGA. Like he's going to be like 90% owned in the MVP, maybe not 90, but like over there because of the price tags. Everyone is just so cheap on FanDuel. Like you can easily jam in 3 of the 4 studs on your teams and then build from there. Like good teams too. I mean, like Nemhard at 5'8" is silly. That's a very cheap price point. And a lot of these other guys like are priced like OBTJ, Benny Math are priced ridiculously. 2,600, 2,400, 1,800. That's really cheap. So like you put 2 of those 3 guys in, you put 3 of the 4 studs in, and then you just pick your last spot. You're on your way on that. Like I said, don't know that site, but if I did, that would be my my path.
Yeah.
So there you go. Anything else here, Tony? The game? Do you like the Pacers in the game?
No.
Do you like the
I like
Thunder in the
OKC.
game?
Yeah, I won't be changing in this series. It'll be OKC, and hopefully it's in 5, if not 5, 6. Give me some of my money back. But I
5.5 right now. The spread.
Yeah.
You think the OKC covers? You like the OKC?
I like OKC every game. Yeah, I think they're just way better than Indy. I think Indy will play inspired tonight. I don't think they got enough, and I think OKC knows. They know what Indy's going to do. They know the atmosphere tonight. They know what's going to happen, and I just think they're going to go to a different level themselves and get this job done. Because then they can free roll game 4 a little bit, even though we don't like if you go up 2-1, you got all the momentum back. Game 4 is the pressure's on Indy. Because obviously if you lose game 4, you're losing in game 5 back at OKC. So yeah.
One prop I do like, I just feel like the number's low. I know we talked like we didn't like Haliburton, but over 2.5 threes is plus money again tonight. It hit last game. I liked it last game. It's plus 105 over on DraftKings. I just feel like 2.5 is just a low number for a guy in Haliburton who's going to shoot 7+ threes the majority of games. And he's probably going to shoot a couple more threes at home, probably. So I kind of like that as a prop anyways, a decent amount. So Tony, I don't know if you've looked at the props at all. Have you looked at anything? Do you see anything you like? Or all right,
I'll post them in the chat later. I haven't looked, but I'll like all the same ones that we talked about as far as the guys for sure. I just got to look at the actual numbers. And this dude says, would you play all 3? I'd have no problem playing all 3. It's just, what's the build? Like, okay, SGA, Pascal, Chet, I think would be the only ones that would. It just doesn't. 2 makes more sense to me.
2 makes more sense.
If you had a build with all 3, I would be okay with it.
You got to think about it too. They're going to play a good amount together. Like a lot needs to go right together for all 3 of them, I think, to get on the winner. Right? It could. It definitely could. But
this is not as tough as you think. This is why people don't like SGA captain, though. Playing 3 guys under 4K, this is exactly what I want. SGA, why is that tough? You got a lot of. I think that's where it's easy.
Yeah, I think
like Kenrich at 1K. Like you got, I love the plays under there.
I'll keep saying it. I think the tough range is the range above that range.
Yeah,
the Casey Wallace. The Aaron Nesmith range, that range. That's the tough range. Even the
studs. Picking between Pascal and Haliburton is tough. Picking between 100%. Jalen and Chet is tough. Like, those are tough. Picking the cheap guys is easy.
I agree. And I think we kind of were clear on, like, who we like the most. And, I agree with you. I that's the thing, though, Tony. Everybody wants to have a full safe lineup. That's why they like the cheaper captain lineups, because they want their floor with all their spots to be a little better. And I think it's just the wrong way to go about it in Showdown when you have guys that can just give you that 60 ball and that are so consistent. Like, yeah, SGA probably won't be the winner every single game, but he's going to be a winner a lot in this series.
He's going to be the winner. If it went 7, I think he'd be the winner 5 or 6.
I think 5's a good number. I think you'll get like a weird Pacers once, maybe, and then maybe like a J-Dub or something, like, or a cheap
One of these
captain.
games you would think a lot of the studs have a good game in the same game, where like Haliburton and Pascal both get high 40s and Chet gets,
and that's what you want, because then your cheap guys are going to be what gets you
better. That's the thing about playing the way we believe to play. You give yourself outs every direction. Like and
it just cuts out that mid tier that we hate, or the mid tier that we think is the hardest to project. So that's get Jibby in the background. I can hear Jibby. Jibby's going off.
Jibby's not happy at the moment.
You got to give him attention.
She's going crazy. But so this is another important point. Like, I know we always talk about this, but you're definitely playing Thomas Bryant over Kenrich, but there's a price difference. Thomas Bryant, I know it's only 200, believe me. It won't make a difference in a lot. That's why in Saber, as long as Thomas Bryant at 8.44 is ahead of Kenrich at 6.44, that's all that matters. Because the 200 could make a difference as you're going down your builds. But 100% it's Thomas Bryant over Kenrich. Like, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Kenrich's floor has to be much lower than Thomas.
Kenrich's floor is definitely 0. Guarding that water bucket.
Because he could get literally 0 or 1 minute away and stuff like that.
His ceiling's probably not crazy high either, but he's 1K. He's the 1K guy.
It's going to be really interesting to see what OK does with the bench, their first game in Indiana. Yeah. That crowd's going to be going crazy. It's going to be interesting to see if they do the same thing as they did kind of last game, if they tighten it up more. It'll be interesting for sure.
So they won. Let's go back to let's flip it back to this sheet. Here we go. Look at how clean that transition was there.
Wow. That was good. Impressive.
We can't look at the T-Wolves series because they won both at home, so it was a little different, and then they got blown out. Go back to the Warriors. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong team. Yeah,
I was going to say that's
so we can't look at that. You go back to the Nuggets, though, where they split the first 2. Just like that. Same situation, right? Nuggets buzzer beater. They won. They go home. These were the minutes they had. So who's that? Oh, I'll just hide all these rows real quick. Hide all these rows. So here you go. You got Kenrich, DNP, which again, it's a different series. I'm just saying in general what they did with their minutes. So you could even flip like Jalen and Kenrich since Jalen's more. So that was 14 minutes from Jalen. Only 3 from Isaiah Joe, 12 from Wiggins, 20, 34, 23. 31 from Hartenstein obviously won't happen. So some of these aren't the same.
Was that game close? I can't remember, Tony. Was that a close game?
Yeah, overtime.
I think in a close game, it definitely kills Isaiah Joe the most, right?
Definitely. And on the road. And, I mean, these guys did get an extra 5 minutes for overtime, but you still had SGA at 40, Jalen at 38, Chet at 35, which, again, Chet and Hartenstein played a ton in the Denver series. So this doesn't correlate perfectly, but I'm just saying some of the minutes, you can see they condensed their rotation a little bit. Didn't go super deep in there, so didn't show as much as I thought it would, but you get the point.
Yeah, still a good exercise. It's fine. So, all right, I think we went through the entire slate, Tony. A nice little hour plus talking some Showdown, and I think is game 4. It's a little quicker turnaround, right? Friday. I'm pretty sure it's game 4.
I'm gonna be on that golf trip too, so I need to figure out when we can do it. I'm gonna do my best, but.
Big T's going to be swinging away at the golf trip. We'll try.
It's supposed to rain though on Friday, so if it rains, like we can find a time to hop on and do one for sure.
I'm flexible, you know that, so we can do whatever.
The biggest issue is there might not be a break is the only issue, but I'm going to do my best for the people. I'm gonna see what we can do.
There we go. That's it. You got to do the best for the people.
If
If
it
you want to
somehow
come check us
doesn't
out,
rain, I don't know how. Maybe we can even just hop on for like a quick one or something for a half hour or something. Because I'm definitely not going to have a super big window, but I'll do my best for the people.
All right. If you want the content, though, you can come check us out, runpuresports.com, RPS 15 if you want 15% off. I think the promo is still going to the JVC promo. I'm pretty sure JVC 100K win is the promo code. If you want a free week, you do have to be obviously a non-member who signs up for a month. So those are the two things. Someone who's not a member right now, you sign up for a month, you put in that code JBC 100K win, and you'll get that free week on top of that there. So make sure you guys get in the Discord if you do decide to join Discord. Very important, fun, talk sports, all sports too throughout the day. Whatever's going on for the day, we got tons of sports. Chop it up, soccer chat, tennis, whatever's
US
going
Open
on.
week. It's a good time to get in. US Open week.
Golf. If you want to hear Big T's takes on Phil Mickelson, how he's been ramping up his game for this week.
That I tweeted you was freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that shot, it just shows you that he's still got something left, Big T. I don't know.
It just, to think.
He's got a little. My question is, Big T, can he do it for a full 4 days? Yeah. That's the question. I don't
think you need to go too heavy with the old Phil. Old Phil exposure this week. You might want to limit it to like a courtesy 5 or something.
All right. Well, we'll see. Maybe I think a courtesy 5 is respectful.
Yeah. Out of respect, give him 5%.
Or 6.9. Maybe I do a 6.9.
That works too. Just out of respect.
Out of respect for Phil, hashtag, snatch talk on the NBA show, 6.9. That kind of fits. All facets here. So I like that. There we go. So if you want Big T's golf takes, you can sign up, use that code, and get the U.S. Open. Get the free week and get U.S. Open winners from Big T. Big T's always got.
There's never been a good week to check us out. It's this week. You get a free week, and you get what? Because game 5 won't be till Monday, but that's a week still. So you
still get game 3, game 4,
3 finals games in the U.S. Open to go with MMA Saturday, everything else. If there's ever been a week to test us out, it's this week for sure.
Is NASCAR this week? Is there NASCAR this week?
Absolutely.
NASCAR, yeah.
Everything.
I mean, that's where you get it.
You get everything. Check us out for a week. This is the week to do it. Free.
And that's how you get the value out of Run Pure Sports. It's not just like one sport. It's the fact that there's all these sports. If you're someone who likes to play multiple sports, then it's definitely the place for you, because we definitely go into all these other niche sports. And, some people don't love the niche sports, Tony. Some people do. It's not for everyone, but it's fun when you win, right? That's always fun. So, if you like winners, then I think we got some over with the niche sports here. But all right, that's going to do it here. Come check us out. Get in the Discord. Thanks, Big T. Good luck on your golf trip. Hopefully you own Uncle T and he doesn't shoot another 100, because I just shot 100. My first time golfing in like a year and a half, and I shot 100. So I feel pretty good.
Tell him you're coming for him.
Uncle T, I'm on par with you. I putted way better, Uncle T, than the last time we played. So that's why I shot 100, thank God. So I'm coming for you, Uncle T. Hundo, JSU is going to outscore Uncle T next time we play golf, Tony. I'm calling it. I'm getting my game back. I'm getting ready. I'm going to play out in Vero Beach in a couple weeks. I'm getting back. That's all I'm going to say.
When are you coming to Kentucky?
When you want me to come? Maybe first week of football. Maybe first week of football. First week of football. I come down for like the week.
6 months from now.
6 months from now? It's June.
Exactly. It's not
football.
We got golf time. What about golf?
Well, I don't know. When's the next big golf thing? When's the next big golf tournament?
Got to be like a month from now. They run them like every month, I think. So probably mid-July or something.
The only problem is I go down for that Florida trip with my wife and her family in mid-July. That's the only problem.
Figure it out. We got to get you.
Yeah, well, I'll come down. If it's not for football, I'll come down before that. If you need me to come down before that, whatever. We'll get it done. So, all right, that's going to do it here for the show. Hit the like button on your way out. Enjoy the Game 3 winners for Big T. I'm JSU. We'll see you guys at some point, hopefully, on Friday. Until then, we're out of here. Peace.